So today is about the SUQQU UK exclusive collection. I bought the 2 eyeshadow quads and 1 face palette. So let's just get started because I don't have much time because the sun is about to go. So the 2 eyeshadow quads, actually they look very similar to me. Like this one just looks like a deeper and more vibrant version of this one, but they are both very pretty. Just put them on my eyes, and I think I would put one of this one on my left eye and this one on my right eye. We'll use the same brushes, but I will clean them in between on a towel. So for this eye, I think I want to put this down as a base because it's a very pretty light pink, or like a medium pink that's matte. It's actually a matte. It's kind of rare to find a matte shadow in a Japanese brand, like the eyeshadow quads. They are usually, all of them are shimmers because that's how we like. It's not like we don't like matte shadows, but definitely we use shimmer a lot more, at least for me. Oh, this is a very pretty pink, and there's no fallout. Like I'm rubbing the pen like this and there's zero fallout on it. It's blending really well. I won't say it's the most pigmented eyeshadow in the world, but it's very easy to use. Like you can do no wrong with this color, and you actually see it through the camera. Like I'm just throwing that shade on my eye and it was blended perfectly. I will put this on the outer half of my eyelid and this on my inner half, and then I will draw eyeliner with this color. So let's do that. So I'll put this one. Yeah, this one doesn't has any fallout as well. Very impressed. Well, it's a very pretty shimmer, but it's not very pigmented with a brush. This brush is a quite fluffy brush, so let's try with finger. Yeah, with finger it's much more pigmented, and it's very wet looking kind of shadow. Can you tell? I think it's very wet looking. And maybe I'll just continue with the finger and put this color. It's very pretty pinky color with a red shift on it. Because this color on the outer corner. And there's another thing I find with the SUQQU eyeshadow. Every one of them apply very well with your finger. Like you saw how I'm applying this shadow. It's very easy. I'm just rubbing it on with my finger and it's just blended. And I'll get a little bit of this color on my lower lash line. Yeah, I think that's very pretty. And it's definitely more pigmented than the other quads I have, or at least on the more pigmented side. I this one as eyeliner with this tapered kind of fluffy brush. And I think that's it. Very simple, but I think it's a very pretty look. Yeah, I really like this quad. And the other quad. Maybe we'll just do the same thing. Like, this one is also a matte shadow, so I put this one on with the same brush, but I cleaned it on the towel. And yeah, this one also doesn't have any fallout. Well, the first impression, I think this one is not as easy to blend on the eye than the other mattes on the other palette. But I think it's normal because this shade, first of all, it's darker, and second of all, it's like a purpley kind of shadow, which is kind of hard to do. But still, by layering it and blending it a bit, I think it's blended to a quite pretty shadow. Yeah, I feel it's very pretty. And let's do the same thing, which is apply this on the inner part and this one on the outer part with my finger. I think this works better with your finger. This one, like this one, is also a very wet looking shadow. Very pretty. It's my kind of shadow. And orange color on the outer. Whoa. This one for a SUQQU eyeshadow is on the quite pigmented side. And I'm not even taking that much product on my finger, and I'm not even using every bit of the shadow I got on my finger. And I think the pigmentation is quite impressive. The same orange shade. Ooh, that's blending pretty well. And the same brush with the darkest shade. This shade is more purplish than the other darker shade in that palette. But I think on the eye, if you are not applying it in a very large area, it will look quite similar to each other. Yeah, I don't think you can tell the difference that much. Yeah, and eye look is done quite quick, and I'll finish the other parts and I'll come back. And I just apply some mascara, and I think they actually look quite similar. Maybe it's because the way I'm applying the eyeshadow, but I would say the overall look is quite similar. Like if I'm going out with this eye, I don't think that much people notice it's actually different eyeshadow quads. I think that's because, you know, in this palette, the shimmer, the lightest shimmer color in this palette and this palette are quite similar, and this outer corner is basically a mixture with these two color, and this outer corner is a mixture of these two color. I think the mixture of them are just quite similar. So maybe if you would apply in a way you will emphasize more of these two color, then you definitely get a more different look than this eye. But like I said, with my ways of apply this eyeshadow, they look quite similar. So I think if you like more pinkier, more natural kind of shadow, then this one is for you. And if you like more vibrant, more purpley, or like orangey kind of shadow, then this one is for you. But both of them are very pretty and very everyday appropriate. And this palette, I think this palette, there's one problem for me, is these two highlighters too dark for me. Like, if I apply on my skin, you can see they are definitely too dark. But I think they would be very great eyeshadows actually, because they are very pigmented. I think this kind of color is quite, how to say, a lot of brands does this kind of blush, so maybe we would use these two today. I would use this one because it's pinkier on this side, and this one is more purpley on this side. Add a little bit this color and rub it off on my wrist and apply on my cheek. I think in this way of applying it, you can make this rather deeper shade very wearable for a lighter skin tone like me. Yeah, I think it's a very pretty color and suits very well with the eye. And with the same way. Oh, this is much more purple, but for some reason I still think it's quite wearable for me. Oh, it's really pretty. I really like this one. And can you tell? This one is a little bit more purple than this one. And it's really match really well with this eyeshadow. Maybe they are intended to do that, because the same collection with the eyeshadow quad, so they want to match the color. And they match with each other very well. I like the SUQQU blush formula for a long time, so I'm not surprised by I really liked this palette. It's applying very beautifully with a little bit sheen, and the color doesn't come out this dark on your face if you use a looser brush, and there's no fallout, and it's pressed kind of hard, so actually it's hard for you to pick up too much product, so I think that's good. I turned on all the lights that I have, and I think in this way you can see the highlighter better. And I think what I would do is apply this like blush topper to try if I can use them in that way, because it would be too dark for me to apply like with using like a highlighter. So because this one is actually a little bit like purple, well, not really purple, a little bit cooler tone than this, so I think I'll apply this one on the purpley side and this one on the pink side. And we are using the same brush, and it's the same take a little bit of the product and rub on the wrist and apply it on the blush area. I feel there's a little bit of glitter in this formula, but it's not so noticeable if you are not like glued in my face. And I think it's maybe you can tell that well on the camera, but it's giving me a wet kind of look, or even a little bit oily. But I think it's a quite nice blush topper if you would apply a little amount. And if you like that kind of wet looking cheeks, well, I'm actually not a fan of this kind of wet looking cheeks, but I would say it's blending quite nice. It works as a blush topper. And I'll clean the brush and apply this one as a topper on this side. Yeah, this one as well, it works very well, but it's just looking a little too oily on my skin. So I think, like I said, if you don't mind this kind of wet cheeks kind of look, maybe go for it. Or if you have more deeper skin tone, maybe this too will works well for using as a highlight. For the highlighter area, I'll use this one. Let's get a little bit that and rub a little bit of the product off on my wrist and apply. Oh. It looks really like my face is wet. I think you can sort of tell from the camera. It looks really nice. And it's not emphasizing the texture because my skin is not very in a very good condition these days, but it looks nice. Yeah, this just works the best on the cheekbone. I just love the highlighter formula on these palettes. I think the only thing you have to do with them is just use less. Use barely any product and you will get the most glowy highlight. I think that's about it. Yeah, and my opinion is just I love all of them. I don't know if they are still available to purchase, but I think if you have a chance to purchase them, maybe do it. If you like medium pigmentation kind of eyeshadow, these are for you. These are not like super sheer, you get nothing on your eyelid kind of pigmentation, but at the same time it's not like you get the smallest amount of product on your eye and there's a big chunk of color on your eye. It's not like that's in between. And the blush palette, other than I can't use this to as highlight on my cheeks, I think they are very nice. I think this is very nice face palette, especially this color. I think it's a kind of a very rare color for a blush. People these days want to do more nudes or pinks or oranges, but this purple one is very pretty. It actually looks like a quite fresh color which you would never thought you would get from this kind of color. And I am somebody with the most warm toned skin color. I am like very yellow and I am very olive, and this color works very well for me. So if you have very warm toned eyeshadow, I think you would like this. Even though I didn't try anything from the holiday releases of other brands, I think this would be my favorite collection released this holiday 2020. Yeah, that's all what I have to say, and thank you for watching. Bye.